Good morning. It is a Monday, January 17th, 5:28 in the morning. I just looked, so that's how I know. Hope you guys' weekend was good. Hope you guys got some energy and made some connections with some friends. We had a pretty, I wouldn't say rough, I would say pretty suspense-filled weekend. A friend of mine's mother-in-law found out she's got thyroid cancer, but it's non-malignant, it's benign, which is good. She had her thyroid taken out yesterday. Procedure went well. Everybody's happy about that. And the doctor who did it has got lots of experience with those operations and operating on witnesses. So that's really good. We had our Moderna shots, which wiped us out for a whole day on Saturday. But we feel better now. And what else happened? We had some lasagna last night at a friend's house. It was their 19th year anniversary. So we went over to their house to celebrate with them. That's pretty much the highlights of the weekend. How was your weekend? Let me know how your weekend was. Some of the friends who are watching this actually had the same kind of weekend as I did. Yeah. But yeah, what a roller coaster sometimes life can throw at you, and just gotta roll with the punches. This morning I want to talk about a new podcast that I've been listening to. I've been really liking. It's entitled State of Mind. And this podcast interviews entrepreneurs, athletes, successful business people that have a story to tell. And the very first episode, I listened to the first two episodes so far. Talking about, the first one was about the Kickstarter co-founder, and how he uses life gamification to kind of move through his life. And he really was heavy into role-playing games. But anyway, let me talk about that in a little bit. State of Mind is a podcast, and it's actually directed by the co-founder of Blinkist. And if you don't know what Blinkist are short book summaries of novels and non-fiction books that are in bite-sized chunks. And so a book may be 300 to 500 pages. They'll condense it down into about 15 minutes, pulling out all the main points and the main thoughts in it, and then delivering it in a medium like that. So Blinkist, the co-founder, is the creator of this new podcast called State of Mind. I don't know how old it is. They're only in season 2. That podcasts work like that nowadays. The podcasts used to be just episode numbers, but now they've got seasons, which is kind of cool. Season 1, season 2, season 3, and so on and so forth. I don't know how long their seasons run. Are they like TV show seasons where they only run for a calendar year and then the new season starts, or are there, I don't know. I really don't know the statistics on how the seasons are split up. Maybe they're different in podcast medium, I don't know. But anyway, State of Mind, I'd suggest checking it out. And so anyway, I was listening to the very first episode, which talked about the man who created Kickstarter. And his story is pretty interesting because he comes from a small town in Virginia, kind of rural area, lived on a farm. And they interview his mom, and they say he had nothing basically. They said like he had to stay outside his whole childhood because they had nothing to do in the house at home. And he talks about how that really formed his life, and how he innately began to play different roles, because if you're playing by yourself in Virginia, then if you don't have too many friends, you have to become different characters in your own stories. And so he just began to become a pirate, or become a sailor, or become a captain of a ship, or he would play all these different roles, and how that skill of his like translated into him growing up and basically faking it till you make it. But one day he decided, he told his mom, he says, I'm done. I'm over it here in Virginia. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. And so he packs his bag and he takes $2,000 and he moves to Manhattan, New York. And he says he was instantly intimidated, but he said, I got to put on my Manhattan face. I got to become a Manhattaner or somebody who lives in New York. And yeah, it's very interesting how he would step into these roles that he was not necessarily built for, but he approached everything as a game, and he became the role player in these games. And he would take on, like we said, one day I would just act like, okay, today I'm going to be a news writer. And he just said, I'm going to do whatever news writers do. I don't really know what they do, but I'm going to be a news writer today. And he'd live out that whole day just as a news writer. He'd read columns and he'd make editorial notes. And because of these skills, he was actually a really, really good writer, which is what he did in New York. He would write these 70-word blobs about musicians and different other artists, and he would send those blobs to radio companies, and they would read it on the air and they'd put it on their websites. Back in the old .com days, this is back in 2000. Y2K was a big thing, so 1999, 1998. Y2K was still a big thing. So yeah, I really enjoyed that story of how he was a role player in his own life. and because of that, he was able to take on new roles. And so I thought about myself, like, what are some things that I've role played myself into? And yeah, video editing would be one of those things. Teaching would be one of those things too. I was not a classically trained teacher, but when push comes to shove and I needed a job, and the best paying job that I could find, that I could get at that time was teaching English. And so I just kind of like said, hey, I'm going to be an English teacher, and I'm going to teach English to ESL learners, learning their English as their second language. And I think we all go through that, being a husband. That's you're never a husband, well, unless you get divorced, but you're never a husband before you're a husband. And so you just assume the role and you take it on, and fake it until you make it, or you just put in the work, and then hopefully your good work yields better results. And obviously it depends on your mate as well, what kind of person they are as well too. So I definitely recommend that. That would be my recommendation for this week, would be checking out that podcast. The podcast name again is State of Mind. And yeah, check it out. I don't remember the name of the creator, but if you just type in State of Mind, it is the co-creator of Blinkist. Yeah, good content, and good sound quality as well. They fill it with sound effects and music, and it really is a story that you're listening to. It's not a one-on-one conversation that people are having with each other. They really like to weave in and make it really an experience. So go check it out, State of Mind. Today's Monday, and miscommunication with my school. It is what it is, but I'll be off this week, and then I'll be back to work next week, and then I'll be off of school for the next 2 weeks after that. So off, on, and off for 2 more weeks, and then the new semester starts. For semester number 2. Will we be back in schools? I don't really know. Maybe. The cases in Ho Chi Minh City are dropping drastically. So we're about, in the 400s now, 300s, where on the flip side, Hanoi is like exploding. They've had like 3,000 yesterday, I think. At least 2,700. So it's crazy over there. Anyway, thank you guys for checking up on my vlogs. Thank you for your kind comments. Leave some more comments down below if you'd like. And then if you do decide to check out State of Mind, let me know what you thought about it. And maybe we can have a conversation about that again another time. Love you guys. Thank you very much. Stay self-disciplined. Today is actually a pretty good day. Got down here earlier, and I'm happy about that. It's 5:38 right now. So yeah, I'll finish this up and go back upstairs, hit my push-ups, my last 30 push-ups, and then we'll go upstairs and continue our day. Love you guys very much. Aloha, take care, and see you guys tomorrow. Peace.